do things that bother you so much that you could scream? Do certain things irritate you? Well, maybe we have some of those same things in common. So today I will tell you about things that really bother me. Some things that really bother me is when someone doesn't listen, when someone doesn't think before responding, and when someone doesn't finish a job. Let me explain when someone doesn't listen, which happens to bother me the most. Last week, when I was at work, I walked into a room with another CNA to take care of a resident. We had to get this resident dressed in order to take them to supper. We were getting him dressed, and the other CNA wasn't listening to me at all. She wasn't paying attention to me, and she wasn't understanding me. And that led into our resident falling because we weren't communicating with each other properly. We both were really angry and very stressed because it was a crazy situation. We both finally got the chance to calm down and step away from each other. We finally listened to each other and heard out what each other had to say. And then after that, we went to lunch together. And we had a good shift after that, after finally hearing what we truly meant to say during the situation. Listening coexists with responding. And with responding comes thinking. And before you respond, you should always think in order to save other people's feelings some of the time. Thinking is the most simple thing that humans could possibly do in the world. Yet half of society doesn't do it at all. People often just listen so they can reply without understanding what you have to say at all, which is annoying considering you're trying to talk to someone so they understand what you have to say. Often I argue with my family and we butt heads and the argument just goes on and goes on because we're firing back at each other without hearing what each other is truly meaning to say. It never gets us anywhere and it doesn't work out at all how we hoped, and we end up saying sorries later. But with thinking, it is very hard to do, but finishing a job can be even harder. Another situation that happened with me at work was when I decided to not fill out a paperwork for a human resource representative. I didn't know what the paper meant, so I just put it off and left it in a drawer and completely forgot about it. Well, it turns out that paper was really important for us to have because the government needed it, and I decided to put it off, and I ended up suffering the consequences because state officials had came to our facility to see if we were doing the proper cares and had all of our paperwork filled out that we were supposed to. But I, not having that piece of paperwork done, had gotten in trouble because I decided to not finish the job. I gave up very quickly, and that's what most of us do, is give up, and that can result in very bad things, or maybe not bad, but something you don't want. It's better to just finish the job that you started because it can cause a ripple effect and make everything worse. Listening, thinking, and responding all coexist with each other because they can all better yourselves. Next time that you have an argument or you're not understanding, are you going to stop and think or reply and not finish?